Alright guys, this is episode 5 of the Learn Roblox Dev With Me series. In the last episode, we talked about weights and timings and how to practice it with small timed systems. In this episode, we're going to focus on trigger zones. A trigger zone is basically when something happens after a player enters or interacts with a certain area. You've already seen the touched event in action, we've used it in previous episodes, and that's where a part is touched and a certain event fires. There's another very useful one, known as ProximityPrompt. You've likely seen this in many Roblox games, where you press a key and a certain event activates. Alright, so first we're going to start with our example. So let's go into the workspace and let's create a part. And let's rename this part to, let's just say, prompt zone. Alright, and then under the prompt zone part, we're going to make a script. Alright, get rid of what's here. And now let's start writing. So first we need to access the part. So we will do local part equals, we can just do script.part. We don't have to go through game.workspace. Not script.part, script.parent, sorry. Script.parent. And that's just the parent of the script, which is prompt zone. So that's another way of accessing the part. We already learned about that in a previous episode, accessing parents and children. So let's keep going. So now we need to set a prompt variable, and we need to create a new instance of this proximity prompt, and we need to name it proximity prompt. So it sets up a new instance known as proximity prompt. And instance.new is essentially how you create new Roblox objects in code. So you can basically make new parts, sound, or prompts within the code itself, but it's only a space within the memory right now. It's not actually created until the game is run. Okay, now we need to set up prompt, and basically how I'm doing this, guys, is using the Roblox documentation, and I'm basically looking at what I need and I'm writing out what seems to work. So make sure you guys also use the Roblox documentation. It gives the method and gives everything within that, so you can keep testing out new things. And that's basically what we're going with today with our example and also all the practice problems. Alright, so what we're going to need now is to do the action text of the prompt, and we need to set prompt.action text. We need to set that equal to, let's say, like, collect energy is what I want to make this right now. Collect energy. And prompt.action text basically sets the action text that will appear within the pop-up. The pop-up of the UI whenever a player approaches the part. Next, we're going to do the object text of it. So prompt.object text. Object text, and we're going to set that equal to, let's say, energy orb. And this basically sets the object's name, and this will appear below the action text when you approach the part. Okay, next, we need to set the key that's associated with it. So prompt dot, and this will be keyboard key code. That's what it says in documentation. And we need to do enum.keycode.e. The default is automatically set as E, but you can set anything else. You can set, like, if you want it to be the F key press, you can set F. If you want it to be space, you can set it as space. But right now we're just going to keep it as E. We don't have to specify E because that's the default, but we'll just set it right now, just to show you guys how it is. Alright, so now we need to set prompt.parent. So the parent of this prompt, which is the prompt zone part. Yes, right there, which is our part right here, script.parent. And this essentially sets the proximity prompt to the part that we defined earlier, which is prompt zone. So whenever the players approach this part, they'll see the pop-up appear, and it won't work without this. So you need to set the prompt.parent equal to the part that you set earlier. And lastly, we need to let Roblox know when this event has fired. We still don't have that set up yet, so right now we just have the basic part and the UI of the prompt set up, but we need to let Roblox know what happens once you click E. So that we need to set up, and it will be prompt.triggered, a new event, not touched, but triggered. we need to do the same stuff. So connect function. I'm going to set it as a player because the player is the one clicking it, not any other part. And then there we go. And now within here, we'll just say, just let us know that it happened. So print player.name. And collected. Oh, we need to have a space here. Collected the energy orb. Right. This looks to be correct. Let's test it out and see if you have any errors or anything, or if it works as intended. Let's go. So our part is over there. As soon as you get close to it, it should bring up a UI, a prompt that says to click E, and it'll give us the description of it that we said. So let's go. Right there, guys. Energy orb. Collect energy. Let's go back to our thing. Okay, it looks like I did make a little mistake. Earlier I said that energy orb would come under collect energy, but no, energy orb is a description. It'll come over the collect energy, as we saw. Let's go back into the game. Right here, energy orb, collect energy. As you guys know, I'm also learning with you guys, so I might make mistakes along the way. But as long as I correct myself, it should be okay. And when we're pressing E, it's showing here in our output that we're collecting the energy orb. Alright, that seems to be a success. Alright, so I just wanted to do a little bit more of a fun problem for today's practice problem. We usually tend to use a normal part that we create in the workspace, like something like this. But this time I want to access a random generator model from the toolbox and make a prompt to charge the energy. I'll put the practice problem down below on the screen. Alright, so let's get into it. So first we need to access the toolbox, so window toolbox. And let's just grab a random generator model. Let's type in generator. Okay, then type in generator. Yeah, I'm spelling it wrong. Okay, generator. Let's see what comes up. Let's use one without scripts. Okay, this one is perfect. Let's see. Yeah, I think this one's fine. This one doesn't have a script, so it'll just be the model. We don't want scripts that already have something implemented. So now we have our generator model, and let's basically set up the prompt for it. So let's create a script under it, and let's do it. Okay, so get rid of this. I'm also just going to close the toolbox menu. Alright, so let's do local generator. Set up the generator variable game.workspace.generator, which is our generator model. There we go. Now let's set our prompt. So local prompt, as we did before, equals instance.new, and let's set it up. Okay, that works. Now let's design our prompt same as before. So prompt.action text equals, and this time we're going to do charge generator. Charge generator. Same thing for object text, just like before. And set that to generator. That is the object name. Now here's where it differs. We want to hold it. Ooh, sorry. 1 second. This has to be lowercase. Alright, so one thing that differs from before is that we want to hold E, or hold any key to set the generator. Before, we just had to press E once and the event would fire. Now we want to actually hold it for a couple seconds. So in the documentation it says we need to add prompt.hold duration and set that to an amount of time. Hold duration. And let's set that to, let's just do 3 seconds. For 3 seconds, we need to hold the E key to actually allow the event to fire. And basically everything else is the same as before. All that changed is just that. Keycode equals enum.keycode. You guys can set anything. I'm just going to do E, just normal. Same thing as before. Prompt.parent equals generator. It already gave me the code suggestions, so I'm just going to put it like that. Okay. Now we need to actually set up the event. So prompt dot triggered. I wouldn't recommend just using the code suggestion, guys. I'd recommend writing it all yourself so you get accustomed to doing that. I mean, in the future, once you guys just know how to do it like easier and stuff, you guys can, by all means, you guys can do that. Okay, so now let's add a text. Print player.name, same as before, has charged the generator. Alright, that should be it, guys, for this one. All that really changes the whole duration. I just want to use a model in the game. So let's just try it out. Okay, there's our generator right over there. Let's go up to it. As you guys can see, charge generator. Once you press E, it should be holding it. There we go. It holds it for 3 seconds. And there we go. It now has charged the generator. Alright guys, now that is the end of today's episode on trigger zones. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions about anything we covered in today's video. In the next episode, we will be creating our first small minigame. I haven't decided what it is yet, but it will be using all the skills that we've learned up till now. So stay tuned for the next episode, guys. I'll see you then.